4, that's for the intermediate value, and that's for question number 1. He's asking you to find I2, or the identity matrix, minus a to the power of negative 1. Okay, this exercise, it's before its time, but I want to explain to you from where this one came. If you remember, that's the Leontief system. X is equal to ax plus d. So if I want to have the d factor or if I want to have the production, I can, or to find the production required for certain demand, I can do it this way. I can write x minus a times x, which equal to the final demand. And this will lead to, if I want to take x as a common, I will have I minus a, and this will equal to d. If I multiply both sides in I minus a to the power of negative 1 from the left, I will have x equal to I minus a to the power of negative 1 times d, which gives you the production required to meet certain demand. So if I have certain demand, if I have the certain demand required for the market, required for importing, required for consuming, I can evaluate the percentage required for production, or the amount required for production. Do you read me? I, it means the unit matrix, because here we are talking about matrices. So if I took x as a common, it will come out from A, and this is going to be I. So it's going to be I minus A times x, as you can see. Okay, I need to move this part to the other side, which means x will equal to I minus a to the power of negative 1 times d, which is the inverse Leontief matrix. So, are you with me? Okay. When are you going to use this formula? I minus a to the power of negative 1. When are you going to use it? I am going to use it if it is required. I'm going to use it if it is required to find a production to meet certain demand. I will use the inverse Leontief matrix. We will talk about it in the coming slides. Okay? So he wants you to evaluate I2 minus a to the power of negative 1. I2 stands for the unit matrix from this dimension. This is a 2 by 2. So if I want to get this relation, how to get it, Omar? Any ideas?
هو الايدنتيتي
احط اللي هي
1 0 0 وبعد كده 0
0 1 minus
الاي بقى
اللي هو 5 over 8 ها
1 over 4
بعدين
1 over 8
بعدين
بعد كده 1 over 4.
Okay, so the result from this subtraction, it's gonna be 1 minus 5 over 8, it will be 3 over 8. 0 minus 1 over 4, it's gonna be negative 1 over 4. 0 minus 1 over 8 is gonna be negative 1 over 8. 1 minus
negative 3 over 4.
Yes, this is gonna be negative 0 minus
أو
this is minus 1 over 4. 0 minus 4 minus 1 over 4. 0 minus 1 over 8 minus 1 over 8. 1 minus 1 over 4 is gonna be 3 over 4. That's the matrix that will come up from I2 minus 8. Then I will get its inverse. How to get its inverse? How to get the inverse of this matrix?
احط يونت ماتريكس على لغايه اليمين وابدا احولها هي انها تبقى هي يونت ماتريكس.
I will evaluate. I can do the unit matrix issue by using row operations.
أيوة.
Or I can simply multiply 3 over 8 times 3 over 4. So I will simply do 1 over 3 over 8 times 3 over 4 minus the multiplication of negative 1 over 4 times negative 1 over 8. That's the value of the determinant. Then I will multiply by replacing the elements on the principal diagonal, which is gonna be 3 over 4, then 3 over 8, and interchanging the sign of the two sides. That's the fastest way, which is the empirical rule to get an inverse of this matrix. Are you with me? Do you remember that? So now I have the inverse. Now he is asking you, what is the production of each sector? If the final demand, معايا مهند, is 4 and 6, what to do? In order to get this production, to meet this final demand, all I have to do, after evaluating this guy, I will multiply it by, so it will give you the X column, which is gonna be the production. This is the production in order to meet a certain demand. Do you read me? حضراتكم معايا؟
ايوه ايوه
ها؟ تمام؟ Okay. Try to do it on your own, the multiplication and all of this, and you will be able to get these values as we did. Okay, let me go through the next slides. Once more, consider an economy whose technical coefficient matrix is given by, so this is the technical matrix, and the production of the sectors of the economy is given by, so this is the X value. So once more, I will have the production, which is X, equal to AX plus the final demand. Now I'm giving you X, which is this guy, that's X.
Yeah.
And here is A. Let's see what you want. So that the total production of this economy is 1,500 mandatory units. That's the total production. To be 1,500. Of course, this is the total production because simply, if you add those numbers together, it will give you all the amounts. Let's see. 250 plus 750 is going to be 1,000. 1,000 plus 500 is going to be 1,500. So that's the total production. The total monetary units from all sectors. That's the amount will be produced from all sectors in this economical system. He's asking you to interpret the values in positions A13 and the A21 of A. What's the interpretation of the value 13? 1 3
زيرو
يعني ايه؟
هو عايز دايما
هو 1 ده اللي هو ايه؟
فيرست جول
First sector. Okay? And the number 3, 1 3,
ثيرد
that's the third service. So the third service, it doesn't depend on the production of the first sector. يبقى أنا عندي 3 sectors صح كده؟ الفirst sector will depend on itself by how much the amount or the ratio of the production? 3/5. Okay, this is the part of the input of the first production on the second sector, which is 0.4. And the production of the first sector, it doesn't depend on the values of the last sector. Okay, I want you to interpret the meaning of A21, which means 2 stand for sector. So this is the second sector, okay? And the percentage will be 40%. 0.4 means 40% of the production of the first sector. So the production of the second sector will be fed on 0.4 from the production of the first sector. That's going to be the input. Do you remember the slide that we have X11, X12, X13, X23? Okay, he's asking you about this. Okay, what is the quantity of each good available for the final consumption? Is asking you about what? The final demand. The D. So all I have to do is to multiply this matrix by the number 750, 500, 2,500, 250, and then you will have your final demand. Okay? And that's the final consumption. Now I want to speak with you in specific about the inverse Leontief matrix, which we did together just seconds ago, which is I minus e to the power of minus 1. Okay, what's the meaning? Following Leontief's input-output model, x equal to ax plus d, where a is the matrix of technical terms, the term I minus e to the power of -1, which means Leontief's inverse matrix. I will use this matrix if I want to get a production relative I minus e to the power of negative 1 certain demand. So if I have certain demand to satisfy, what's the production that I'm going to use? I will multiply the inverse Leontief matrix into the final demand, then I will get the production required. Okay? Okay, very good. And it's really very easy to prove it or to find the final, to find this value. Okay, once more, changing the final demand from D to D dash. What is the variation in the production, delta X? So if I want to have change the final demand, and this is usually happen in the markets. If I'm changing the final demand from D to D dash, how it's gonna affect you in the production? I can speculate that too. Okay, so mainly I have X, which equal to X plus D. If I want to get X, it's gonna be I minus A, negative 1, which is the inverse Leontief matrix, times D. And I will have, this is X relative to D. And that's X dash relative to D dash after transport. So if you want to have delta D, okay, a percentage of a change in the demand, all I have to do is to get the difference between them. So if I want to have the difference in production, what's the increase in production? What's the decrease in production? Due to a change in demand. All I have to do is to get to know delta X. All I have to do is to get the inverse Leontief matrix times the difference in demand. So let's put it this way in order to be sure that it's all set up for you. For this problem, let me see. For this problem, I have X, which is 700, 500, 250. If I have a final demand, I need a final demand of 1,000. So I'm giving you D. Let's say D is 1,000, or let's do it this way first. If I want to find the final demand for this problem, according to this production, all I have to do is to have the column, which is 750. Are you with me, guys? Focus, 500 and 250. This is X. Minus A times X. So all I have to do is to get the intermediate demand, 300, 3 over 5, 2 over 5, and 0. Then I will have 2 over 5, 1 over 5, 1 over 5. Then I will have 0, 1 over 5, and 2 over 5 times 750, 500, and 250. That's gonna be the final demand. So all I did is I'm having once more X is equal to AX plus D. So if I want to get the demand, I will get X minus A times X. This is what I wrote. So if I want to evaluate these values, it's very, very simple. 750 divided by 5, it's gonna be, try to calculate with me. 750 on a 5, it's gonna be 150, am I right? Yes? 450, yes, it's gonna be 450. 750 minus 450, the result will be 300. Let's do it again with the, no. No. This is, I will have to evaluate it, to evaluate all of it. So this is gonna be 450. And this is gonna be a 200, so it's gonna be 650. 650 out of 750, the remaining demand for the open market or the final demand is 100. I will do it once more for the second row. معايا عمر? 2 over 5 times 750 is gonna be 300. Keep it with you, Muhammad. 1 over 5 times 500, it's gonna be 100 plus 200, so it's gonna be 300. Are you with me?
لا 300
400.
400
100, 1 over 5 times 250 is gonna be 50. So the total will be 450. Out of 500, so the remaining will be 50. For the last row, this is gonna be 100 and that's gonna be 100. So both of them together, it's gonna be 200. Out of 250, that's the final demand. Okay? So if I want you to evaluate the amount of the production related to an increase in demand by 10% in all, let's say, by 10% in all sectors. So the new demand, the new value, which is D dash, okay? Or the difference between them is 10% in all sectors, which means I will have 10%, 10%, 10% on each sector. I will multiply this value by the inverse. The inverse Leontief matrix minus 3 over 5. Are you with me, guys? Okay. Once you evaluate this matrix and get its inverse and multiply it by the percentage of increase, I will have now the percentage of increase in the production. Do you understand me?
Yes.
So I can now find these values. So once more, as I told you, this is gonna be the inverse of Leontief matrix. So if I want to have a percentage increase in demand or decrease or whatever in any of the sectors, all I have to do is to get the inverse Leontief matrix and multiply it in the difference of this demand. And you will be able to get it. And the impact on production given by increase of one monetary unit, okay, on the final demand for goods number J. If I want to see the impact of increasing, ya Muhammad, just only one unit in the demand on the other sectors, what's gonna be? How to evaluate this? It's very simple. All I have to do is to get I minus e to the power of -1 times the column of increase. So if I have a system of 3 sectors, معايا 3 sectors, and I have I, let's suppose that I have I minus e to the power of -1, which is the inverse Leontief matrix. So I can easily tell you if the third sector increased by 1 monetary unit, what's gonna be the effect on the production? production بتاعك هيتأثر ازاي؟ لو انا زودت واحدة، كل اللي انا اعمله هروح جاي، هو السيكتور بتاعك او الايكونوميكال سيستم consists of how many sectors? 3. So I will come to sector 3 and add 1. And I will multiply this value by the inverse Leontief matrix, which is I minus A. So I will get the effect of this increase on each part of your
بس هذا
productions.
على الفاليوز اللي هي عندي اصلا في الاصل.
ايه؟
هذا ال1 دي على الفاليوز اللي عندي في الاصل.
لا بس كده. يوم تعرف ازاي؟ بس طبعا مش تبقى 1. لان ده البرسنتج اوف انكريز
ال1
in certain sectors.
ايوه.
How it's gonna affect x1, x2, x3?
ايوه.
The percentage will be from multiplying the inverse Leontief matrix times this increase. And that's a question repeated in this part. This is one of the questions that usually repeat. Okay? That's the inverse matrix. As I told you, the entry J and 1, which is the sector that you will increase. Here, for example, he's giving you let A be the technical coefficient of an economy with 2 sectors, and the production of each sector, and D the vector. X بيساوي AX plus D, so X is equal I minus A minus 1. What is the amount of reduction? What is the amount of production if the final consumption is D? How to do it? I will have to evaluate first the inverse Leontief matrix.
Okay.
In order to evaluate the inverse Leontief matrix, I will have to get first 1, 0, 0, 1, and I will subtract from it matrix A, which is 1 over 4, 1 over 2, 1 over 5, and 1 over 5. This result, which is gonna lead to, this is I minus A, which is gonna be, I think, 3 over 4, then negative 1 over 2, then minus 1 over 5, then I believe 4 over 5. That's I minus a. I get the inverse. How to get the inverse? It's really very simple. To get I minus a to the power of negative 1, all I have to do once more, 1 over, multiply the elements of the principal diagonal, which is gonna be, I believe, 12 over 20 minus. I will multiply these two guys in each other, which is gonna be a 1 over 10 minus 1 over 10. This is gonna be 2 over 20, which is 1 over 10. So now simply I can find this value, which is 12 minus 2 is gonna be 10 over 20. 10 over 20 in the denominator, it's half. So which means if you flip it, it's gonna be 2. So all of this is just only 2. Okay. Multiplied by, change the order. So it's gonna be a 4 over 5 and the 3 over 4. And they change the sign of the two sides. So it's gonna be a half and 1 over 5. So I minus a to the power of negative 1 will simply be 8 over 5, 1, 2 over 5, and I believe 3 over 2. That's the inverse. You need the production. So I will multiply this matrix by the demand column. The demand column is 50 and 20. And this will give you the production of first sector and the production of second sector.
Okay.
This is what's required. What's the amount of production? If the final consumption, which is the demand, is given by 50 and 20. So all I have to do, as I told you, is to try to get directly the inverse matrix, which is exactly as we did, 8 over 5, 1, 2 over 5, 3 over 2. Multiply it by 50 and 20. So this is the production. Okay? So 100 monetary units of the first sector and 50 monetary units of sector 2. What is the impact? What is the impact? Okay? On the production. What's the impact on the production? So I will use inverse Leontief factors. Given an increase by 1 unit. Okay? Monetary unit. On the final demand for good number 2. How to do it? I will take the inverse Leontief matrix, which is 8 over 5, 1, 2 over 5, and 3 over 2. And then the unit increase in which sector?
Number 2.
So 0 and 1. And this is, I'm going to have the increase or the effect. Okay? So I will see now.
هو ليه دكتور ما زودش ال1 دي
Just a second. Okay, once more, I minus a to the power of negative 1 times 0 now. So once you do this, this is gonna be, this is the, of course, this is the Leontief matrix, because 8 over 5 is 1.6, this is 1, this is 0.4, that's 1.5. So it's, here is the matrix, multiplying by 1.5. So you will get, observing second column of the Leontief inverse matrix, we know that the sector 1 will need to produce a monetary unit more of good 1, and sector 2 will need to reduce 1.5 monetary units of good number 2. Once you multiply them together, you will be able to get the impact of increase of 1 unit in second sector on the 2 sectors that you have. So if I multiply this, it's gonna be, the first sector will be 1, multiplying the second row by this value, it's gonna be 1.5. So, which means, once more, observing the second column of Leontief inverse matrix, we know that sector 1 will need to produce just only 1, and the second will be 1.5. I can do it by multiplication or by observing. Because if you multiply a matrix by 0 and 1, it will give you second column. If you multiply by 1 and 0, it will give you first column, and so on. Okay, very good.
كان عندي سؤال بس.
طيب خليني بس اخلص ده واشوف السؤال ده. Okay, now you have the system once more. It's AX and B. This is the inverse Leontief matrix. Those slides are from the last year, so we already covered all of this. how to get the inverse unit, the inverse Leontief matrix. So those are the numbers. So if I multiply them by a certain demand, okay, then I will get the increase. This is the effect of increasing sector 2 on the 3 sectors. Are you with me? So if I multiply, first of all, this is the inverse Leontief matrix. If we multiply them together, those are the percentage increase or the percentage that will make the production differ by these values just only by adding 1 unit in the second sector or requesting just only 1 unit in the second sector. Effects on the whole economy. This part is not involved for the time being with our slides, so I will leave it for next lecture inshallah. Okay, your question.
انا كان عندي سؤال دلوقتي. احنا كنا بنعمل ملتبلاي لما يجي له هو زادت ب 1 في 0 و1. ليه بقى اصلا ما يعني ليه هي البتاع كانت 50 و100؟ ليه ما زودناش ال1 دي على 100 وخلاص؟
ما هوش بيعمل افكت على البرودكشن ده بس، بيعمل الافكت على البرودكشن اوف فيرست سيكتور والسكند سيكتور. لان الديماند اللي انت زودته ده ديماند حصل في واحد من السيكتورز. معايا محمد؟ but it will affect the other sectors. مش احنا لما عملنا انكريز ب1 ايه اللي حصل؟
ايوه انا فاهم.
ماشي.
ايوه ما طبيعي كده عشان هي ماتريكس، عشان ده بيحصل له ملتبلاي في ده فكده هتاثر على كله.
لا مش عشان ده بيحصل لده، كلامك صح ماثيماتيكالي، بس الانتربريتيشن بتاعها اي تغيير في اي سيكتور هيبقى له امباكتس على الاذر سيكتورز بس. ماشي؟ عشان كده ما عملتش اللي انت قلت عليه. طيب خلينا نبص هنا الجزء ده بس اتاكد ان احنا هنحتاجه المره اللي جايه. effects on the whole economy of good 1 good 2 good 3. هنا طبعا بيكسبلين تو يو البوينتس دي، خليني اشوفها المره اللي جايه. اي ثينك ان احنا ده مش موجود في السلايدز اللي هم بعتوها اخر مره، فخليني ما نخشش فيه لغايه لما اتاكد من ده. طبعا these are some remarks about the exams. Each correct answer will be evaluated with 1 point. So if I have 20, the grade is 20, the exam will contain 20 questions in order to get 20. Okay? And the wrong answer will be 0.3. And the no answer will be
0.
This is why I told you, if you are not sure about your answers, just leave them. This is some problems targeting what we did go through. He is asking you for an economy with 3 sector. It is known that good number 1 is not used in the production of good 3. He's describing to you which one of those is the correct choice. So he's telling you good number 1, okay, is not used in the production of good number 3. دي تسمع فين؟
عندنا في A و D.
دي تسمع فين؟
A و D.
الجملة دي تسمع فين؟
A و D.
هنا؟
و D.
ولا B؟ good number 1 is not used، خلي بالك، is not used in the production of good number كام؟ معايا؟ good number 3 ده اللي هو فين؟
هنا
صح؟
اللي هو تالت رو.
وتالت رو الفيرست فاليو دوت الفيرست سيكتور جود نمبر 1 والريزلت بتاعه بيساوي 0. بيقول لك to reduce each euro of good 2 0.2 euro of good 3 are needed, which could be the matrix of technical coefficients of this economy. I need you to think about this slide. I will keep it with you and I will send you the slides for this problem. This is one of the problems that already passed in the previous exams. Here is asking you about the inverse Leontief of an economy is giving you the inverse. Okay? A unitary increase in demand for good number 1. How to evaluate? Leads to. So 1 increase in good number 1. What's gonna be? An increase in the production of good 2 by 1.9, an increase in the production of good 2 by 2.7 and so on. عمر اعملها ازاي؟
احنا هنعمل نشوف اول حاجه طبعا الجود نمبر 1.
So you will multiply this matrix by
انفرس
by
الانفرس هو
لان هو اوريدي بيديها لك. مش انا بيبقى عندي الانفرس لينتوف ماتريكس، لو انا ضربتها في 1 0 0 هيديني الافكت اللي هو كتبه the inverse of an economy, blah, 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 blah. A unitary increase in the demand of good number can,
one.
which means I will multiply this matrix by 100. Then I will choose the correct answer.
This is B.
Choose which one of them. This is very good that we already finished this part. I believe it's okay to be continued after the midterm. Inshallah, bismillah, we will continue this part after the midterm.
يعني كده يا دكتور يوم الاربعاء مش هنكمل
So,
النهارده.
next Wednesday, inshallah, I will, if there is some slides not covered here, I will cover it with you on next Wednesday. If there is an assignment, I will do it with you, and then I will do a revision on Wednesday. So it's really very important to attend on next Wednesday. Okay? Thank you very much, and I will send you the slides as fast as possible. And I will upload this lecture too. Thank you.